Good morning. Yesterday for the math videos I posted about adding and subtracting and multiplying with decimals, and I wanted to do a little more work with that today. So first, let's do multiplying with decimals, but two numbers that have decimals in them. Yesterday we just did one number, and today we'll do two. So let's do 2 and 75 hundredths times, we'll do 1 and 5 tenths. How's that? So just like normally when you multiply, you line up the numbers as far on the right as possible. You don't line up the decimals when you multiply. Just line everything up on the right. And then we multiply the number like normal we would without the decimals, and then we deal with the decimals at the end. So we'll do that right now. 5 times 5 is 25. Drop the 5, carry the 2. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 2 makes 37. Drop the 7, carry the 3. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 makes 13. All right, so then we're going to go down and do our second row here with the tens place. Put my 0 in, and I'm going to put a smiley face because we're happy to be doing math. I'm going to erase those numbers that I carried over. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 times 2 is 2. All right, now I add it up just like normal. 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 5 is 12, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 7 makes 11, carry the 1, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so now here's where the decimal part comes in. So yesterday we would have said, okay, we have two places over here, 1, 2 with the 5 and the 7 to get to the decimal, but I have another one also. I have this one down here with the 1 and 5 tenths. So really I have 3 decimal places that I have to move over in my number. I have 1, 2, 3, everything over. So everything in the decimal place when you're multiplying has to get moved. If you're using one number with a decimal, move that. If you're moving 2, count all of it. So now I'm going to start over here, move 3 places over. 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 4 and 125 thousandths. And that sounds about right, because if you rounded 2 and 75 hundredths to 3, and 1 1/2, 3 times 1 1/2, it gives you about 4. Not 4,041 wouldn't make any sense. 2 times 1, there's no way you're going to get to 41 that way, or 412. So the 4 answer makes sense. When you're doing this with your numbers, you can be checking your work at the end, assessing for reasonableness. Does it make sense that if I didn't have these decimals here, what would 2 times 1 really be? Well, something about 2, and that's what 4 is. Okay. Let's do one more, and you can practice this on your own. So we'll do 31, and 7 tenths times, let's see, how about 24, actually let's do 2 and 4, 43, oh, we don't know how to do 3-digit numbers yet, sorry, I forgot. How about 4 and 3 tenths? Okay, so 31 and 7 tenths times 4 and 3 tenths. I'm going to let you do this one on your own. Stop the video, pause it, go ahead and do the work, and then we'll come back and check your work in just a second. All right, so now that you've done the work, let's check it up here. So we'll just multiply this just like normal. 3 times 7 is 21. Drop the 1, carry the 2. You see that black marker, okay? I'll use a different color. All right, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 makes 6. Nope, 5. You guys got to catch me on this. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, now we drop the 0 again. Now we're in the tens, or the next place over. 4 times 7 is 28. Drop the 8, carry that 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And 4 times 3 is 12. All right, now we just add it up like normal. 1 time plus 0 is 1, 5 plus 8 is 13, carry the 1, 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16, 2 plus 1 is 3, and drop the 1 down. Okay, so now we have 1 place here and 1 place here, which is 2 total. So I'm going to move my decimal over 2 places. So starting here, we have 1, 2, which puts our number at 136 and 31 hundredths. So let's check. If we were to cover up these decimals here, and we just had 31 times 4, would that equal about 136? Well, let's see. If we round it to 30 and times 4, 3 times 4 is 12, add another 0, that'd be 120. And our number's a little bit bigger than that because 31 is bigger than 30 and 4.3 is bigger than 4. So it makes sense that our number would be just a little bit bigger than that. That seems like a reasonable answer. More than 13 or 1,363 would be. All right, erase that. Now let's talk about division with decimals. So when you're dividing, we've got, here's our division. And we'll do, let's see, how about 251. I have no idea, I haven't done this number yet. I'm just gonna put a number here. Okay, we're gonna do 251 and 4/10 divided by, how about 6? Okay, so when I'm doing it this way, and I have a decimal in the number that I'm dividing, I'm just gonna push this decimal up. You can do it at the beginning if you want. It just goes straight up, and then you put your numbers around it, and then that fills in. So really the dividing isn't any different, just remembering to put that decimal up. And it's kind of like in addition and subtraction where you just drop the decimal down. In division, you just bring the decimal straight up. No having to count or anything on this. So 6 times 2, or 6 can't get into 2, so I'm gonna put a 0 up there. 6 into 25. Let's see, 6 times 4 is 24, so probably 4 times. 6 times 4 is 24, subtract 24. 25, let's see, 5 minus 4 is 1, bring down the 0, and this next one. 6 can go into 11 one time. See, I'm just putting all my numbers right in those columns right there. They're all lined up. 6 times 1 is 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. Don't bring down the decimal, just leave it. I'm bringing down the 4 now. 6 can go to 54, let's see, 9 times. I'm going to put a 9 up top and see how it goes right around where that 4 is at. Right now, the 9 is on the 4, and then the decimal just goes right in between. 6 times 9 is 54. Wow, that came out nice and even. And that is 0. So 41 and 9/10 will be our answer. We just wrote that right around the decimal like that. And we could check if we wanted to. 41 and 9/10 times 6. 6 times 9 is 54. Drop the 4, carry the 5. 6 times 1 is 5. Or 6 plus 5 makes 11. Drop the 1, carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 makes 25. It looks like we got it. We just have to move that decimal over that 1 place right here for the 9. That which would give us 251 and 4/10. All right. There is one other part to dividing. So what if the number that you have on the outside is the decimal? So let's look at that real quick. Oh, I should give you an example problem. Let's do that real quick. I have no idea. 314 and 75 hundredths divided by 5. Let's see. How about that one? Okay. So same thing. Pause your video, try it on your own real quick, and then we'll check it in just a minute. All right, so now that we're back, let's do this. So I'm gonna bring the decimal up right now. Just drop it up right there between where it will go. Now you really have to keep track of those place values of those columns, otherwise you might get it skewed over and your number might be in the wrong spot. So 5 can't go into 3, put my 0 on top there. But it can go into 31 6 times. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 6 is 30, so subtract 30. 31 minus 30 is 1. Bring down the 4. See, I'm keeping those numbers right on top there in columns. 5 can go into 14 twice. 5 times 2 is 10. 14 minus 10 is 4. Don't bring down the decimal, just bring down the 7. Let's see, 5 into 47. 5 could go into 47. 5 times 9 is 45. So put a 9 on top. See how that's right above the 7 there? And it's on the other side of the decimal. 5 times 9 is 45. So 47 minus 45 gives us 2. Uh-oh. Move that down there a little bit. Bring down the 5. 5 into 25 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Looks like we came out even again. So our answer, 62 and 95 hundredths, should be our answer. We'll check it real quick here. All right, go ahead and check your work. I'll pause it and we'll come back in just a second. All right, so now that you've done the check for this, 62 and 95 hundredths times 5, we'll check this here real quick. 5 times 5 is 25, drop the 5, carry the 2. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 2 is 47. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14, carry the 1. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Let's see, and we have 2 decimal places here, 1, 2, so we'll move it over 1, 2. And our answer is 314 and 75 hundredths, same as we started off, so we know that we did it right. Okay, so now let's go into the if the decimal is a different spot in your division problem. All right, so what if now you have, let's say you have 2 and 6/10, and you're, let's see, dividing, I don't know, this is, let's see, 32 and 41 hundredths. I have no idea. I'm just creating this as we go. Okay, so now we're thinking, I have a decimal up here. I have to get rid of this decimal before I start dividing. So I'm going to move the decimal over to the side. So now it's really 26. But I have to move this decimal inside also. So I'm going to move this decimal over as well. If I move it over to the left or to the right, I have to move this one over to the right. They move together. So now my number really is 26 and 324 and 1/10. See how I just moved both of those over one place to the same direction? So now I can do 324 and 1/10 divided by 26. And I know 26 can't go into 3, but it can go into 32 once. So subtract 26. Let's see, I have to borrow 12 minus 6 is 6. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down the 4. How many times can 26 go into 64? I'm thinking twice. Let's see. 26 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 makes 5. Yeah, probably can't go in 3 times. So let's put a 2 on top. Add over the 4. See, I'm keeping those columns straight. Subtract 52. 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 minus 5 is 1. Oh yeah, see, 12 is less than 26. Okay, now bring down the 1 here. Now, 26 into 121. Let's see, well, let's think. 30 times 4 is 120. And 26 is about 30. So I'm thinking probably 4 times. Let's do the math over here. 26 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Drop the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 makes 10. 104. I'm thinking probably that's as big as I can get. So I'm going to put the 4 on top of the 1. And we'll subtract 104. Let's see if to borrow. 11 minus 4 is 7. 1 minus 0 is 1, and 1. Okay, so now we're at that point where we were with the remainders. I'm just going to leave it as a remainder right here. Oh, got to bring the decimal up. So just bring that right up there, right there. And I have a remainder of 17. And we can check it if we want to. We can do 12 and 4/10 times 26. Let's C. 6 times 4 is 24. Drop the 4, carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 makes 14. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Bring down the 0. Now we're in this tens place over here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 1 is 2. Let's see what we get. Bring down the 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 4 makes 12. 322, 4. We have to bring that decimal over one spot. All right, and then this is really 17/26. So it's a little harder to tell with the decimals and the remainder. What we really would have wanted to do is just keep going with our numbers, but we'll do a video like that in a little bit. So right now, just focus on getting that decimal moved up when you do the division. All right. Was this the practice one, or was this the one I was showing you? I don't even remember at this point. Anyways, that is how you do multiplication and division with decimals.